you sorry, bro.
Alright, let's get it.
Take us a promise, man.
Is that right?
Are we ready?
Yes.
Alright guys, we're back, and as you can see, we're rocking the standout merch. For some, whoa, wait. What do you want to do?
Nah, the way you said that shit.
Standout merch. Alright guys, we're back. And as you can see, we're rocking the standout merchandise. Standout. Well, now hold on. Did you hear what this dude doing?
Bro, I'll be good.
Look, as I'm talking to you guys.
Everyone
Let's leave it.
stand out.
Alright, let's get it. Abalu. Shut up.
Whoa, savage.
Nah, because he's playing Fortnite, he's not even talking.
Oh, cheers. Nah, thanks for like explaining.
What is that?
Everyone take
Good. That is big thing.
Wow, let's go. You told me to put a pillar.
Alright guys, we're back. And as you can see, we're rocking the standout basketball merch. Yeah.
Let's go.
And as a little treat to you guys, we're about to do a giveaway. So all you gotta do is hashtag standout basketball on the comments on the YouTube video, share your favorite part, and also follow Standout Basketball on Instagram.
And we all pulling up, booty fat, I'm in love, little mama bust down, baby just like the watch, so I live on the block, when on my block be too hot, I cannot fuck with these.
Alright, topic for today. Do we as youth believe we're paving the way for the future, or are we actually shutting it down by all the reckless things that are happening right now?
You guys said reckless.
He's right, though. Aren't there reckless things that are going
There's a
down?
lot of reckless things, and I feel that at the moment it's actually kind of shutting down the doors for a lot of people.
I was watching Steve Harvey the other day, yeah, and he was talking about how he's being reckless throughout his 20s, and after on his 30s is when he started to grind. And then after that, his advice was he wasted that 10 years instead of grinding early. He started grinding 10 years later. And his advice to us, to the youth, is that start right now. So it's just more like, hey, right now is the time to start everything.
Just like Charles is saying, so like with the youth doing reckless stuff at the moment, that's actually affecting the whole of the African or the students community. A couple of years ago, it didn't used to be like that. People walking down the street and say, hey, they smile at you. Now it's like you're walking down one footpath and then they just cross the road.
So what do you do in that situation then? How do you continue to grind or do you and continue to succeed if you're going to be painted with the same brush?
In that situation, I think you just gotta toughen up because there's bad in every nationality and that's never gonna change, you know what I mean? But you can't paint everyone with the same brush.
I think another reason why we as like black people actually never generalize like when we see an issue, we don't start to apply that to the whole race. It's because that's been done to us so many times.
Yeah.
And I feel like subconsciously, like people always say, or even other black people always say, black people are so quick to forgive. Not in terms of like personal, but like quick to forgive issues that happen, or quick to forget. Even I remember someone was saying, as in like so many issues happen in you know, in America and that they see, and out of nowhere, like black people move past it.
Yeah.
But then that's also because like even when you see, you know, a lot of the school shootings and stuff like that, black people don't be paying the whole white people. Because I feel like as I said, that's done to us so many times. Back to the question about like so what are some of the negative things that we're doing, or what steps are we paving right now for our future? I think something that is negative in terms of the future that we have for ourselves is everybody thinking that they're an entrepreneur. In my opinion, bro. Like, I think it's not for everybody, you know. And sometimes that's just the excuse that some people lay down. I think because they haven't actually taken the time to sit with themselves and see what they can do and what skills that they actually possess, and then they actually just start trying to be like, you know, I'm gonna run my own business. Do you know what it takes to start a business? Rather than actually sitting down and studying the field, studying what they know, studying what it takes. People just like, I want to do this, but then they actually don't make the moves and stuff. And then, as we said, you know, Steve Harvey, he said he wasted 10 years. You know, you end up in that kind of a situation where time goes by and you actually haven't moved anywhere. You have all these ideas or whatever in your head, but you don't end up actualizing them because you're not putting in the time now.
I agree with you. Some of the stuff he said. Definitely, some people are close-minded when it's that thing. But something that I disagree with you is when you said something about the entrepreneur thing. I feel like from what I've seen, I don't see enough people actually taking that step to say, you know, I want to be an entrepreneur.
You think?
So, Loki, I don't know.
I see like everybody be doing.
Loki.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, I've not seen that. Because if I've seen that, that just shows, okay, cool, maybe you are actually taking a step to actually do something for yourself. Does that make sense? Because when I see that, I like that. Because that's what something actually hit on the press. I'm like, yo, so what are you working on? You know what I mean? What can we do? What can we do to collab? But I feel like I haven't seen that. Like,
I think what you're saying is you're not seeing people who are taking a step. But I'm seeing a lot of self-proclaimed people saying, this is me, this is what this is what I'm about, you know. You know what I'm talking about? You see the buyer, entrepreneur,
hold on.
businessman, but like they ain't doing nothing, bro.
I agree with Obama. What Obama's saying, because like I've actually I know a lot of people that proclaim that they're entrepreneur, but like two years ago that's what they're proclaiming, and until now, they haven't even done anything.
You know, sometimes it does take the time, but then there's there's something that's meant to happen at least, you know.
Still take the action.
You know, some promo or something, a business name at least. But like, yeah.
Hey, maybe they're talking about entrepreneur in terms of mindset. Who knows, bro?
No, but I feel like I understand where both of you guys are coming from. Where I actually kind of agree more with Carlos though, because.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm joking. Yeah.
Where I feel like because with the youth nowadays, like our mindsets are completely open. And I feel like not many people are actually taking advantage of that, especially with the resources that we have nowadays. Like you can become whatever you want. Like imagine, man, people are making like money out of YouTube and Instagram and all that type of stuff. You can literally go and create something that's like normally your hobby, and you can make that a career. Where like 10, 20 years ago, people could not do that. There were careers that were built, and you fall into that. You know, so that's why it's like now that university is actually an option for a lot of people. They can step away from that and go and do something else and actually become successful with it. But that's where I also agree with Daniel, where a lot of them, they hear about other people taking that option, or they say, oh, Bill Gates dropped out of uni, you know, like that was, but it doesn't work like that. If you actually want to take that route and that big step, you have to actually go with it and put in more effort than you would have done if you were planning to go to uni or like go to a normal job, because it's not easy out there.
I think a lot of the time people will start to forget that you can turn a hobby into a craft, and then a craft into a career and stuff like that, right? Actually, the career is probably hobby into a career, and then the career becomes your craft, like that. So even NBA, we have a lot of ballers and athletes around us, right? But a lot of these ballers ain't realizing that this is something you take seriously. Not you turn up to your training, you turn up to the game. Nah, you go home, you study the art of the game. You study how to perfect your game, not just listen to what the coach has to tell you, but go back and find out stuff about, for yourself. I think people aren't taking control of their own futures. That's what I'm bringing it down to, Like actually putting in the time to make your own future your own, not allowing external influences to just determine where you end up, but actually being like, I actually am the captain. I'm like the captain of my future, captain of my soul, and I can determine the choices and where I can steer my life. Sometimes things do happen, right? But if you're someone who's not even making choices, not even attempting to go against the wind, go against the grain, then it's going to take whoever it takes you, So back in line with what I was saying about the ball and stuff, people see LeBron James playing, see everybody, hooping. Like even me, I always say like, oh, these great men are hooping with their friends and having fun. But like they be basically every day they're doing something, right? Something to do with that hobby, something to do with that craft, something to do with that career. So I think, as I said, people aren't actually taking charge of their own life, putting in the time that's required. So that's something, I'll admit that's something that's probably wrong with me as well.
I think some people like have the mindset where it's like the future's gonna wait for them, right? So they're just chilling. They think that, okay, I can sit there and I can sit myself, I can do this, I can do that. They think that, okay, cool, I will start next week, I'll start tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I still have time. I'm 18, I have fun. Blah, blah, when I hit maybe 2021, okay, maybe that's when I start to focus on my future and everything. And I think that period is where it actually kind of messes you up, or that period is where you're influenced by so many things. And then that period is where you're meant to have fun. That's when you have to start actually losing focus. You feel me? Then after when you hit 20, 21, even 23, it's like, okay, cool. So it's like, where you heading right now? You should have started that focus at a young age.
So pretty much just to highlight the positives that are actually opening the gateways for our community and also like the whole of Africans in Australia, is stuff like last year there was a lot of the first African to be in like Victoria's Secret, like the first African to do this, the first African to do that, like stuff like that. That's actually opening doors for the community. So especially now when it's like our younger siblings or even our kids, there's going to be a direct pathway to that. Because I remember when I was 16, there was no basketball player in the NBL, right? That's what South Sudanese background. and it looked like that pathway was completely impossible. Like all those industries have actually gotten Africans that are in it now. So that's going to be something that's going to open up the gateway for a lot of us, and also the younger generations to be able to step into it easily. The things that are actually closing gateways for us, it comes down from the smallest things to the biggest things. So smallest things is like, if we just want to have fun right now and we want to like rent out a place or get a Airbnb, like we'll most likely 9 out of 10 times get denied. And that's all because of the reckless things that happen right now. Like if we wanted to go apply for a job, like I'm not saying like, oh, they're gonna straight away stereotypically assume that we're gonna be the same as everyone else, but they are that instance where that's gonna happen. So it's just things like that. So we don't want to be closing those type of pathways in our future, especially for us and our younger siblings.
Yeah, because bro, it took us such a long time to open up each of those pathways, you know, from soccer to modeling to this to that. And then for it to be open, then after that, we're going to shut it down. Oh, it's kind of messed up, bro.
Yep. Yeah, so guys, like what do you reckon is actually opening that future career pathways for us, and what's actually closing a lot of opportunities for us?
We'd love to hear from you guys, because
Oh, yeah.
I was asking you.
Let me show one. I think something that I'm seeing a lot more is first of all, confidence. People's confidence is improving. Or like, I don't know if it's people's general or just people that I'm seeing around. A lot of people are getting a lot more confidence to actually step out, you know, of their comfort zone and into something that they feel is going to be promising and rewarding for them. Confidence in that, but then also other people's confidence in being able to highlight other people's greatness and not feeling down on their own path or their own, you know, their own progress in life. Like other people are noticing that it's okay to you know, support someone else and actually believe in someone else's grind and their dream, and doesn't actually have an impact on your own, because you know you've got your own thing moving as well. Especially, you know, shout out to David, bro. That's one guy that I see doing that for everyone, no matter what, bro. Any field, any industry. Support. I don't want to say that, bro.
Hashtag support.
Again, bro. He supports everyone, you know, and that's what I think a lot of people need to start doing. So we had a little side topic thing. Shout out to Queen Marweezy. Can I do that? Shout out to that. It's done now. Yeah, you know you are. Anyways, yeah. The on spot topic that we got today is probably need my phone. The on spot topic today is, what are the unwritten rules of brotherhood / being a male, and what is the bro code? How far does it go?
I think one rule that would apply to all of us is don't date your boy's ex, or in this, or in this
Wait, what about wait?
Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Wait. So then date your boys.
Okay, hey, let's go around the rules.
I'm kidding. You do whatever you want, bro.
Well, this shut up. Like I said, yeah, number one, don't date.
No, I didn't. No, it's not number one.
It's not number one.
So you're telling me that it's okay to date your family's ex?
But you think it's not right?
No, of course not.
It's not right.
Yeah.
That's weird as shiz.
This is the
Bro,
thing.
think about it, bro. I did, like, you know, you love this girl bad, bro. Like, you love her bad. You break up with her, and then you come to me, because I know you come to me at college, bro. Yeah, bro, like, look, I like her, but da-da-da-da. You know, you express your feelings to me about her, yeah? And then after that, you know, crazy Tuesday down the track.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing.
Crazy, what's the show, bro?
What is relevant?
Forget it.
He's about to say it. He's about to say it, bro.
Bro, that video we did a reaction to.
Sure.
Story, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hey, I was waiting for something crazy.
It's weird, right? But I don't think it's wrong. I think it's definitely something that can be weird, yeah, because it's weird vibes. Because as you said, you know, the homie probably expressed his feelings about this girl prior. But it's not that I can say something's wrong. Let's say it's this, right? A situation where you're both in the same environment, right? But your homie's the one that just ends up having the confidence shoot your shot first. You probably, you know, this is someone that you end up actually having a match with, right? But you never had the confidence to do the things. It's not even that you're feeling them, but you didn't see them that way. You know how sometimes if the homie says, "Hey, bro," like not even on the feelings where it's like, "Hey, bro, I think I'm gonna."
So they call it kind of shotgun, yeah?
Yeah, not like kind of, yeah. Sometimes you have to call a shotgun, right? Yeah, so the homie's called shotgun, yeah? And instantly in your head, you know, you shot that person down.
Yeah, crazy.
Like that, you know?
That's it. Done.
Side, whatever, yeah? I do see it sometimes that you know, the other person, the homie comes in contact again with the ex, the friend's ex, and then they're actually cool for each other.
So let me ask you this.
I don't say it's wrong, but
so
it's
let me
weird.
ask you this.
Yeah.
So you would do that?
I would do what?
Wait, just that situation.
Hey, trust. Because right now, you got a girl, yeah?
Mm.
You guys did it?
Yeah.
And
But then one of the
This is what I want to say. This is what I want to say, yeah? So if they maturely dated, right, then I believe that they would have maturely broken up. So it's nothing petty. That's like they came to the conclusion we're not married for each other. We're not good. So then when you maturely break up with someone, it's like you
tried it all.
it comes to the point. It's like I'm happy with whatever you end up doing in your life. Like just because I will see you with the homie, if that brings you love and that brings you happiness,
Then go ahead.
why would I, you know, just because it was my friend? But it's like things happen, you know. We move on. When I see in the future, we keep moving. Yeah, we had our time, but like, alright. So let me ask you a question. This nigga beat around the bush. Nope, your nigga said that.
See, I knew he was gonna say that. So then why are you saying that?
What would you say?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Hey, for
That's me.
Nah.
Cause
Hey, honestly, bro, for me, like,
And you thought about
this is what I'm saying. I maybe could do that to my baby, but I ain't gonna let my nigga do it to me.
Hey, trust. Hey, but if you're the dude that is dating your friend's ex, how do you even kiss the girl, bro? Thinking that, you know? Like, it's your homeboy that was all over that, like,
Trust got to think about that stuff, bro.
Hey, to be honest, bro, like, surely no man, like, with their right mind can do that, bro.
Hey, honestly.
Hey, who's the first to agree, though?
What? I'm just joking, bro.
Hey, let's move faster, bro. Hey, let's move faster.
You can't listen niggas in front of girls. Straight up.
Hey, look here.
I feel like niggas break that rule every day.
Good.
As soon as they go around, niggas try to be funny.
Was it a bro code?
Huh?
Yeah, it's not a break. The reason why
This is why he breaks it on the time.
Bro, I'm just a funny guy, bro. Like, that's straight what it is.
Nah.
No, that shot's a funny guy.
It's maybe like it's a code if the guy's not funny and they actually try to be funny in front of the female. But if that's just part of them, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, no.
This is the thing. If niggas start saying different jokes, bro, unscripted things that we never heard before, it's fine. Nah. This is what I'm saying. Niggas know the level of objection normally give, but niggas start busting out some freaking
What? Where you come from with that, bro? You know what I mean? Hey, now to be honest, like, hey, you can allow like a couple of jokes about your homie, like you can roast them a little bit, but if that's the only thing you have, just to roast them, to make them laugh, then bro, hey, it's not cool. It's not cool.
Nah, this is what I heard, but I don't know if it's true. But when you're in the club and your homie that's in a relationship, everyone says this is Stephen.
Wait, drink blind mice or what, bro?
Crazy.
He's crazy, bro.
Hey, is that broken, bro?
Nah,
All the girls don't hate it.
it's not broken.
No, but this is the thing, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, like, it happens too often.
I would never do that.
Nah.
You never
do what?
Wait, you never, so you,
Not like
niggas,
So you'll snitch? Or you
let's keep it real. Would niggas be blind mice or what?
Hell yeah.
Hey, please.
Hey, what do you want me to do? Go
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna snitch,
Hey,
bro.
straight up. If it happens both ways, would you guys be blind
What do
mice
you mean
or
both ways? Like
you see the homie cheat, or you see the homie's girl cheat?
yeah, look, I'm not down with the guilty.
Hey, guys. Now, what was the note?
Push them up, bro.
Bro, hey, you ain't got to
This nigga ran to the homie house, pushed his mom out the way, shook him to wake him up and slapped him.
Look!
Wow, you gotta wake up in shock.
I've been in a situation like that.
Yeah, you blind lasted.
Now, like, when they were both close to me, bro.
Yeah. I know you blind lasted.
But I had to.
Yeah,
straight up.
no option, bro.
Hey, look,
Like-
girls were sorry, but like, I don't know, bro.
hey, because to be honest, we know that y'all will do the same as well. So, I don't know, maybe so.
What's another, about being a man, what's the unwritten code about being a man?
I think brotherhood.
Oh, no, it's all brotherhood and breakup. Let me say one real quick, because all that shit. Oh, you going right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. It's good.
Staying strong.
Oh, damn it, nigga, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was gonna say as well. Yeah, I'm really encouraged about being a guy. You always gotta be strong. That's yeah, that we always gotta, you know, keep a brave face and that through every situation. That's something that's been brought to light a lot more. But yeah, that's part I'm really. Bro, how does that even get instilled in
I feel like
at a young age?
It's forced onto like so many people. And like just the whole staying strong. People don't understand what it really means. Like for example, like niggas we like force himself not to cry.
Like even I was watching the 21 Savage Breakfast Club interview, yeah, and he's talking about how he's like, bro, I cry. He's like, my G, I cry. Sometimes I'll be crying and I'll be looking crazy. I call my mom and sometimes I'll just cry. Yeah. And he's like, niggas take acting hard to the extreme of their homie got shot and killed, and then they're like, nah, bro, you know, we out here, bro, we keeping it moving. But it's like, my G, you can cry in that. That's someone that's your brother, blood. And you gonna be like, nah, bro, you know what happens, bro.
What? Bro, you know damn well in them late nights, they're crying the pillow.
It's alright, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, what else do you think is dogging the boys?
Dating like homeboy siblings and that.
Yeah, drag, bro.
To be honest, when I think about it, bro, either way, you're gonna be dating somebody's sister.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, but
that's just say your sister.
That's the most dumb thing.
your friend.
Yeah.
But not your friend?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Hey, you know what? Hey, you're just combining the dumb shit as that, yeah?
That's like saying.
Hey, trust not actually retarded, bro.
Nah, I got one.
Hey, would you rather someone else date your sister or one of your homeboys?
What?
What? So what? Your boy can't fall for your sister, yeah? Yeah? But look, yeah, your sister's gonna be with a man one day, right? Yeah? And you have to create a bond with them anyway.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Hey, cut that.
Look, another one that's dogging the boys is what's it called? So let's say you're in a relationship, right? You make a plan with the homies, and then you dog the boys and either you go do the same thing that you're planning to do with the homies with your girl, or you just dog the boys and end up hanging out with your girl instead.
Oh, nah, hey.
Is that breaking broker?
Bro, yeah, that's breaking broker.
Yeah, bro.
Because if you're cancelling on the homeboys, and you guys already had a plan, just to go kick it with your girl, that's a broker.
Like, yeah, every other day, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What does that to fall on, like, you know?
Yeah, on something that you already said with the homeboys.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
What?
Are you agreeing now, but you do it every day, bro?
What are you saying?
Nah, yeah, I agree with you. It's okay.
Wait, when have I dog the boys?
All the time.
This is the thing. Wait. Niggas never plan shit, bro.
Crazy. Hey, we plan a picnic. We plan a picnic.
Carlos.
This is us kind of picnic.
Wait, you're trying to cap right now on the camera. Are you pissed?
I've been trying to plan stuff but you're busy, bro.
Yeah,
me?
Nah, bro, first of all, you stay quiet and then I'll see you doing something, bro.
Yeah.
Wait. What are you guys saying, bro?
Is it dogging the boys? If you know a girl, she's down for your homeboy, but you're down for her.
Wait, what?
You're trying to shoot your shot at the girl too.
You're trying to shoot your shot,
but you know she's
trying to shoot her shot at your homeboy.
Unless she tries to do it through you.
Yeah.
It's a cock blocking deal, yo. Why you trying to sound technical, bro?
Are you gonna cock block or are you gonna?
Hey, to be honest, I feel like it's only reasonable when you like let the homeboy shoot because she was interested in it. But then if he airballs, bro,
but then doesn't take the ball. But what about? But then now the homie shot his shot, didn't work out.
Yeah, but then now you can't take the ball.
No. Just. Like I'm talking about like surface level. Like if they were to talk and then get inside and then it didn't work out and then you try and jump in, that's a no. But if she went to him and then they started talking and like let's say she's like, oh shit, like this nigga's boring, then I feel like hey, it's time for you to tag in.
Who would hook up the homie if you were feeling shorty too, and she's trying to ask about your homeboy? Shut up, bro. Hey, go on. You guys you're driving the homie or whatever. You're driving the homie to go see the girl. You get to the destination. Hey, bro. Hey, I hope you guys have an amazing time tonight. Come on, bro. Hey.
Hey, when you put it like that, that's actually sad, bro. Hey, have a nice night.
Nah, hey, honestly.
The homie tells you, yo, the day was amazing. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Come on, bro.
Last night.
Wait, what's that?
What you say? Oh, first kiss? Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Is it done for the boys if your homeboy has a girl and you think she's ugly, but you don't say nothing?
No.
Nah, in all honesty,
Nah, keep your opinion to yourself, bro.
he's with her because he obviously thinks she's pretty, and everyone's pretty in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, huh?
Right, behold this nuts, nigga.
Wait, what?
Nah,
I don't think that's
not
not the
done
boys.
with nah.
Because what? Like, sometimes, you know, you gotta keep those, like, negative opinions. If it's negative opinion, I don't know, you know? If it's negative opinion, you gotta keep it to yourself. Sometimes, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
No, hey, so there's another way to this as well, yeah?
Yeah.
What if you, like, know the girl's crazy history and the dude doesn't know? Like,
Yeah, you tell them.
Nah, in all honesty, you tell him the history, and then if he continues,
Yeah,
then it's on him.
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I would. You know, you let
Because, bro, you have information that could prevent him from going forward with it, you know what I'm saying? So obviously you let him know. Because later on at the end of the day, if he finds out that that's what you know, I mean, that's what you knew,
and you
he's
didn't tell
gonna
him.
turn around like, bro, why didn't you tell me? Like, you're my homie, like, you know what I mean? Like, let me know what I'm about to step into, kind of thing.
hey, who turns into, like, the biggest comedian when there's girls around?
I ain't even going front, bro. Hey, whoa. Hey, I was too warm, bro.
Nah, lucky, yeah, lucky.
Bro, you guys gotta understand, man. Like, I'm just a funny person, bro.
What?
Shut up, bro.
Yeah, hey.
According to you, bro.
And when girls are around, bro, this dude, crazy coming out, bro.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Nah, I'm telling you, Daniel's actually worse.
Nah, what you talking about, bro? You be bringing out some shit I ain't never heard of before, bro. Yeah, cuz. So you know him too or what? Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So while we kicking it together and stuff, bro, the dude gets one text message, ish,
Crazy out, yeah?
I see a voice, ish, and girls, bro.
Hey, get your
Come on, man.
Hey, guy, come on,
Hey,
man.
that's dogging the boys, bro. You're breaking every bro code.
Wow, I think I sound so hurt, bro. And this what happened, yeah, come on, man. You're breaking all the breaker.
Anyways, man. It's done for the boys, bro. Ain't that it?
Every day for the boys.
Yeah. Every day's for the boys.
Hey.
Big mom gonna fuck you over here.
Huh? Shit, what is
Wow, so
Yeah, Marva. Every day's for the boys.
Boy, yeah, you gonna get me killed, cuz.
Whoa.
And trust, I thought you were gonna sit with me, bro.
What?
Alright,
Yeah,
then,
man.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys and girls.
we thank you for tuning in to another episode of BlokeChat.
Yeah.
Give it up for the guys.
Yep.
Round of applause for us, man.
Bros. Hey, shout out to STANDOUT.
Shout out to
Shout
Stand
out
Out.
to that one more time. Make sure
Make sure
you
go
don't
like
forget about
it.
the competition, man.
Hey,
Comment.
yep.
Check the competition.
Yep.
Alright.
So what was it again? You gotta make sure.
I know you ain't trying to miss out on these nice merchandise.
Yeah, bro. What is it?
Summertime?
Tell them.
You gotta look fly.
Yo.
What we talking
Like
about, bro?
God.
What we
Wait.
talking about?
He don't know.
This is what we doing in this standard uniform, man.
Hey,
Come
man.
on, man.
Man, look kind of
Hey,
nice.
look, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, when you try to announce the winners, bro?
Hey, next episode, we're about to reveal the winners.
Yep.
Yep, just like that. And on Instagram, we'll do a massive shout out
God, yeah, just like that.
too. Check out our Instagram page as well, because
Yep.
we're going to reveal the winner there too.
Yeah, man. So yeah, comment.
Put a like, comment.
basketball. Share your favorite moment with us. So
Yep.
comment that in the comment
Start
section.
sharing the
as well.
video.
And like the Instagram page.
You ready?
At STANDOUT Basketball.
Yeah, bro. And now make sure you guys make the right decisions to pave the right path to the future, because you know the future is depending on your current youth to make the right decisions now.
And the future starts from us as the youth. No one's gonna agree? But
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrap it up with that.
Hey.
We out.
Yeah.
my slugs, and I don't give a fuck. That bitch won't get a hug. That's more hundreds for us. I need up in the truck, ABG in the cut, and we all pulling up. Booty fat, I'm in love, little mama bust down. Baby, just like the watch. So I live on the block, You know my block be too hot. I cannot fuck with these thoughts. I'm doing donuts in the lot. I'm trapping, you know I be whipping that pot. Yo, I will never stop. Tell my little baby, listen up, don't panic. Me and you regardless, we gon' get to this money.